KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Look at this fantastic knife that I just feels needs to be acknowledged. This is the Peña Mula Sons of Liberty rendition, 1776. Don't you forget, goddammit. This is one of my most treasured knives. This is one that is extremely hard to get. I managed to add this to the collection sometime in 2022, maybe even 2023. And it ain't going nowhere, you know. This has been my only experience thus far, though, from Peña. And there has always been a few out there that have caught my eye. And we've got a couple of other knives we're going to take a look at as well. But as far as this Peña goes, this one was sent to me by a fine gentleman, a new acquaintance in my life. Big shout out to Mr. Andrew, otherwise known as A-Town. Him and I started a relationship over a Hinderer of mine in my collection that he was interested in. We didn't manage to come to terms on that, but we kind of ended up hitting it off. And being the great man that he is, he decided to go ahead and send one down my way to take a look at. So without further ado, let's get to the dope. Now this one is a, what do you call it? Crane's Cutlery exclusive. It comes in the blue fat carbon fiber. And here she goes. These are coming in at $338. Now, something interesting to point out, on the Crane's Cutlery website, they say that there are only 20 of these made. So in theory, if I've got one in my hand, there should only be 19 left. So to test that theory, I tried adding 21 to the cart, and it let me. It allowed me to. So I call bullshit on the whole 20, only 20 made. But nonetheless, this is stunning. These are actually OEM by Riot. We've got two forms of deployment. They're giving us that nail nick, which I don't know who the hell would want to use that when you've got these wonderfully tuned front flipper. You could even go top flipper if you wanted to. Let's go ahead and check it out. Whoa! Detent is dialed the fuck in. Gorgeous presentation here. Slight contour nature there to these blue fat carbon inlays. This version has got the black PVD coated bolsters as well as liners. And then the original pocket clip. This isn't the stock clip. The stock clip is more of a pocket clip just like this, as a matter of fact. I'm assuming that must be like a Lynch Northwest one. But we've got a bolster for your locking mechanism. We're sitting at about 50% on lockup. Overall length on this gal is 6.5 inches, so a smaller size knife. Right in my sweet spot, though, to be honest with you. 2.75 inches in this gorgeous reverse Tonto blade. Love the belt satin finish that Riot does so well. We've got the Peña X Series branding on the show side. And then M390, which is the steel on the lock side. 100,000s for our blade stock. Weight on this thing is 2.5 ounces. Nice action. Now, I will tell you, the biggest complaint I have with these Peñas is their lack of lock bar access. You know, it seems to kind of be something that is done on all the knives, because I had the same issue here with the Mula, you know. So I'm assuming that's just the way they do things, you know. But nonetheless, though, nice little knife. I think this is the perfect size. Action is tuned to perfection. And I had always contemplated adding an Apache. I just never did, you know. But while I have it out, let's just go ahead and put up a couple of quick ones for some comparison. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how the fuck we do. Gotta roll like this, and I'll explain. First up is going to be this one, the Jack Wolf Knives After Hours Jack. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this one up in particularly is, as I stated, You know, we do know that Riot is the OEM for Pena. It's been, you know, it's been acknowledged, it's been stated. But we do not know who the OEM is for Jack Wolf. They have decided to keep that information, you know, to themselves, and that's their right. But that's not going to stop us from doing our investigation. And upon investigation, I think I got something to show y'all. First up, look at that choil, that sharpening choil, which is done identically. Also look at that wonderful belt satin finish. And then I think the smoking gun is going to be the lack of lock bar access on this bolster lock. That's right, people. I think I think Riot is fucking OEMing these Jack Wolf folders, you know. I know people have speculated for years, but I think I just cracked the goddamn case. But there we have the first knife of the day, which is this Apache. Great, great little knife, man. Might have to add one soon. We got more dope. We got another one. We got one that is coming to us from Giant Mouse. And this is on their Ace side of the equation. I kind of explained all that. The Ace side of the things are more budgety, you know, higher units are manufactured. Therefore, it's not as rare as the GM side of it. Now, this is one that has been around for a couple of months now. I think this version in particular. This is the Riv, and this is the liner lock version. These come in at $195. I had never experienced the Riv, but this one, I like it. I really do. We've got contoured micarta scales. We've got a ambidextrous tip-up wire pocket clip. This version here has got this nice green canvas micarta. I don't know if I just told you they were contoured, but they are. Love the way Giant Mouse does their back spacers. They crown them. Granted, they do give you a humongous lanyard hole for the weirdos. Two forms of deployment. We've got that nice tear-shaped cutout, as well as that minimalist flipper. Snappy little detent. Wonderful finger choil there, which does accommodate the full purchase, no refund. Love that crowned spine on this 2.4-inch blade, which is in CPM Magna Cum Laude, otherwise known as Magna Cut. Full flat grind. Love that gorgeous stonewash finish. Now, they do give us plenty of room to disengage their liner locks. However, that flipper tab is going to hit your finger first, so you are going to have to give it a little bit of a shake. To me, this would have been perfect with no flipper tab. I mean, that would have been the way to go for me. I think they have a model. I think it's the Atelier, perhaps, that doesn't have a flipper tab. I could be wrong on that. But as far as ergos goes, it does feel wonderful in the hand. They do give us a nice little island of jimping there on the spine itself. 2.5 ounces, so extremely lightweight. We've got 118 thousandths for our blade stock. Overall length on this comes in at 5.75. Let me just go ahead and put up one or two knives real quick for a size comparison. Let's go with some that y'all should definitely be familiar with. We're going to go with the Para 3. So there you see that. How about a goddamn little native, which is my favorite small pocket knife. And so you can see that rib is a little bit bigger. Oh no, bullshit. It's smaller than both of these. So definitely a fifth pocket carry, but I think this one's going to be pretty capable. You know, good steel of choice, or rather good choice of steel on here. Granted though, it has been alleged that the Italians run their shit soft as baby shit. But, you know, if you're only cutting fucking boxes and packages and whatnot, I mean, it's really not going to affect you in the grand scheme of things. But nonetheless, I like it. $195. You can have one too. That is the Giant Mouse Riv. Okay, next up. We got one coming to us from Vosteed. Now, Vosteed has been kind of hit or miss with me as of late. I think a couple of their models I really did not dig at all. This is one that came out last year in 2023. I had one. I got one somehow via trade. For a while there, these were hard to get, but that's not the case no more. As a matter of fact, they've got a bunch of other different variations as opposed to when they first dropped them. And this one is the Mini Nightshade. Now, I will tell you, I think the Nightshade is my favorite model from Vosteed. I wish they'd give us like a extra large version. That would be fantastic. Imagine if they gave us an extra large version with that crossbar lock. That's money. These are fair priced, $59. The version you see here in front of you has got these slightly contoured, I guess we're going to call that like an olive green G10 scale. Love that crown spine on that blade. We've got thumb studs for deployment. Hold up. All right. Yeah, that's kind of been the problem with mine as well, is the action. I think when you have a knife this small and you're trying to do a crossbar lock on it, I mean, you've got to get a really finely tuned or properly measured spring if you want to get that good sensation. But nonetheless, we've got 6.3 inches overall. Of that, 2.6 is in this kukri cutter style blade. You could even call that like a leaf shaped blade. This steel on this one should be 14C 28N. Beautiful black wash finish. We've got an aluminum backspacer that is geared. And I think the thumb studs are aluminum as well, if I remember correctly. Action's good though. You know, you can throw it out there. Feels nice in the hand. 1.8 ounces, so extremely, extremely lightweight. Pocket clip is ambidextrous, tip up carry. Yep, this is a good little one to have, man. Definitely one of my preferred smaller knives. Let's go ahead and keep that same energy and put up a couple of for some comparison. Let's go with some USA in the building. First up is going to be the Hogue X01. So there you see that. More American dope for your palate. We've got the Micro Jimbo, which has been one of my favorite pickups this year. And the Mini Nightshade is smaller than both of those. You know, I think smaller knives really started to gain popularity at some point last year. I have always been into them, you know. I really have. I just, they're just so capable, you know. You don't have to tug around a big goddamn, you know, 8-inch knife. You can pull out a little 6.5, 6.25 inch, even a little 5.25 inch knife, you know, get the job done, put it right back up. I think that they, I don't know. I've started to actually seek out these smaller knives more so before I go for the, you know, the quote unquote full size knives. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Which one of these is y'all's favorite? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something, cut someone, just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!